had one of those nights that starts out like any other, but ends up being the best night of your life? I did. Our goal that night was simple. 12 pubs, 12 pints, from the first post to the world's end. But that night, we never made it.
Peter, this is the final part of the Cornetto trilogy. As with The Godfather 3, have they saved the best till last?
Well, not as with The Godfather 3. I think they rather have, actually. I've always really enjoyed these movies. They have a certain kind of self-satirizing, kind of David Brentian sort of humour, which I've always found very funny. It's very fluent. It's kept the steam heat going throughout these three films. And what's very interesting is that Edgar Wright has always pulled off the trick of sort of persuading you to take it seriously at some level, as well as it being just a monumental TV sketch or a feature-length episode of Spaced. He's actually made it work as a feature film. The first movie, Shaun of the Dead, sort of was a zombie film in a way, and even Hot Fuzz sort of persuaded you to take it seriously as a kind of action thriller of sorts. And this is sort of a sci-fi movie as well. I think they've pulled off an incredible thing, which is actually importing the spirit of a hit TV comedy into a properly good feature film, which I think, I mean, Morecambe and Wise never managed it. I mean, the history of TV comedy is littered with people who haven't managed it. You know, Robert Wade and David Mitchell never managed it. But Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg and Nick Frost have managed it, and I think it's kind of great.
Alternatively, Henry, it's giving them enough rope to hang themselves. There's something pretty indulgent about this film as well, isn't there?
It's slightly indulgent, but I think what they've done is also develop their comedy, and their comedy's always been about nostalgia. Spaced is about looking at the things that you love in your childhood and taking them into adulthood, and so was Shaun of the Dead in a sense, and so was Hot Fuzz, by the fact that they were genre films in their own right. And I think this is great because it takes that and destroys it. It says that nostalgia can be the death of you, as well as something that will keep you going as you get later into life and you realise that everything isn't as golden as in your late teenage years. So I think while there is an element of self-indulgence, and there always has been about their comedy, this has developed it to the point where they've realised that they've got to the end of that road in terms of their career, and they can't really take this form of comedy any further, so why not drag it into the underworld and put it all to the flame?
What are the serious points in this film?
Well, I think it has some, not serious exactly, but certainly satirical points. It's about the alienation of modern franchise Middle Britain, and I think in its own modest way it has some interesting things to say about that. When you look around, you walk into a pub and it's exactly the same as the other pub, and there's a kind of Twilight Zone feeling as you walk into any town in Middle Britain, and you see Starbucks and Specsavers and Greggs, and you realise it's exactly the same, and people look exactly the same, and there is a weird kind of Area 51 sort of thing going on. And also I think the alienation from yourself and from the pop culture. As Henry says, it's sustained you for so long, and then one day you wake up and you realise you're slightly too old for it, and the young people in the street, you think you've got something in common with them, and yet you don't. They look blank and even hostile. And you realise that you've been sustained by pop culture and digital media and the instant availability of your own past with Facebook and Friends Reunited. And you think, surely I can, in my heart, stay 17 or 27 or whatever I want to do. And yet there is a terrible, organic, physiological thing happens, and then you're expelled from it. And that also, I think, is what this film, in its own interestingly low-key way, is about.
Good evening, Raymondo. The prodigal son's return.
Hi.
Who's on the guest list tonight?
Come again?
The guest ales. We, sir, are doing the Golden Mile, and you have the honour of drawing first blood. What do you recommend?
There's one. It's Crowning Glory.
Rather fitting.
How's that?
I'm Gary King.
What?
So tell me more.
What?
Crowning Glory, is it nutty? Is it foamy? Is it hoppy? Does it have a surprisingly fruity note which lingers on the tongue?
It's beer.
We'll have 5 of those, please.
You know, to fear and anxiety and pain.
He seems so together now.
The world is problematic, you know, for him. And I think that, you know, we can imagine it all.
Mr. Grew, Agent Lucy Wilde of the Anti-
I could pretty much excel at whatever I want.